Welcome to a new episode of MBFT Talks. I am Prabhuddha and I have Rishabh with me. Today we have a very special guest in the show, the man who needs no introduction to the Indian football faithful, the man who started the renaissance of Mohun Bagan, the man who once coached players like Cesar Azpilicueta, the man who introduced Spanish flair to our club to Mohun Bagan, the one and only Jose Antonio Vicuna, belovedly known as KIBU Vicuna, or as we all know, Kibuda. Kibuda, welcome to the show. Rishabh, over to you.
Hello. Thank you very much. A pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you, Kibu, so much for giving us the time. Before I move on to the questions, I would like to give the audience a bit of your introduction. So we all know the history you have etched with Mohun Bagan, but I believe the fans also need to know the your history, where you come from, where you belong from. So a bit of on Mr. Vicuna. He started his coaching career in 2002 when he was handed over the charge of CA Osasuna's youth squad. And then for 2 years he went to CD River Ega. Then he moved on to Poland as assistant manager of Jan Urban in Legia Warsaw. Conquering Polish football for more than over a decade, Mr. Vicuna finally got a breakthrough as the head coach of Lithuanian club FK XTRA. A short stint with Wisla Polok was his final destination before he set sails for India, where he gifted the coveted I-League title to Mohun Bagan. We are overwhelmed and honored to welcome KIBU VICUNA to our show. And I will move on to the questions now. So you have coached in the youth leagues of Spain, then moved to Poland, Lithuania, a good amount of European countries that you visited before arriving to Mohun Bagan. So when you arrived in Mohun Bagan for the first time, that is out of Europe, so what was the main challenge that I'd say you faced coming to India from Europe?
See, first you have to understand that when you are going to a new country, the football culture is different. So we have to try to adapt to this. No, we have to adapt to this football culture. So before arriving to India, I asked to some coaches and players with experience in India, how is Indian football, how is developing. Which are the main tactical aspects, etc. No, and then when we arrived to Mohun Bagan, we try to implement our football idea as a coaching staff, because I came with a coaching staff to our reality, no, to the Indian players, to the foreign players, that we brought a good bunch of Spanish players plus Daniel Cyrus, from Trinidad. So I think that the main challenge was to try to implement our football style to Indian football. I remember that this first season, most of the teams, they were playing in, for example, at the beginning in Calcutta League, even in the Durand Cup, most of the teams they were playing 1-4-2, more direct football, And now, if you see, I think because the influence, especially of European coaches, especially Spanish coaches, the style of the game is changing. A lot of teams playing with 1-4-3-3, with playing from behind. That time was not normal. Even in the defensive phase, I remember that time most of the teams, they were waiting, no floating, not pressing high, and now in our Mohun Bagan we were pressing high, and then after that most of the teams now they are pressing high, no?
Right. We had a very free-flowing style of football that season, courtesy to you, sir.
As I mentioned in the beginning, the man who started the renaissance of Mohun Bagan, because you were one of the first one to coach in Mohun Bagan as a Spanish coach, and now all we see Spanish coaches are coming at Mohun Bagan. So that was just the beginning, and that was a great beginning, by the way. So if we start,
See, you know what is interesting, that not because I'm Spanish, but I think Spanish coaches, we are well prepared tactically, especially tactically. And I think also the way we are, our character, our personality suits very good with Indian players. So of course everyone is different, every coach is different. But if you see the last seasons, Most of the winners in I-League and in ISL, I think 90% of the teams they have a Spanish coach and a
Right.
Spanish coaching staff.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
We recently made a tribute video about that season, about the 2019-2020 season. That's totally in Bengali. After this, so we mentioned the line that that season was like a dream. That season was like a fairy tale. So, like every fairy tale, that season didn't start with. The season didn't start as planned. If we remember that season, we lost an important final in the Durand where refereeing was questionable, but we lost the match. In the Sheikh Kamal Cup, we went to the semi-final, but we lost against a strong team in Sheikh Kamal Cup. And in the opening two matches of the I League, in the first match we drew against Aizawl, and in the home match, which by the way you said in a press conference that's the best match Mohun Bagan had played that season, against Churchill Brothers, we faced a loss, and the fan base's morale was very down. But after that we made a dramatic comeback in the league and we secured the title. So if you can tell us about the story, how challenging was it at that time when we dropped point in the first two games? We lost the Durand Cup final, we lost the CFL. So how challenging it was?
See, my perspective is different because see, I understand that sometimes when you are not winning a tournament doesn't mean that you are not doing well,
Mhm.
right? So, for
Correct.
example, in the Durand Cup, we lost the final, right? But we were runner-ups, and there were a lot
Right.
of teams that they didn't reach the semi-finals even, no. So I remember that this, for example, Durand Cup, we were playing 5 games. In the first stage, we won three games. First game against Mohamedan in Salt Lake Stadium with 2 goals of Salva Chamorro.
Yeah,
Then
Yeah.
we won against ATK that they were
Hmm.
playing with a quite second team, but they were playing like Pravir Das that were playing
yeah.
there.
Pravir Das was captaining that squad.
Yeah.
Yes, you was yes. Some players that now they are playing even in ISL, no, in that team. And then we won against Indian Navy, no. Then
Yeah.
we play very good semi-final against Real Kashmir, very good game. We won in the extra time,
Yes.
3-1. No, in
Right.
the yes 3-1, playing very well with two goals of Suhail in the extra time, and in the final was a very even game. In that time, at this in this moment, this stage of the season, perhaps Gokul and Kerala was better prepared than us. But they were not better team because then after that we saw that we were the best team in I League. No, so I think
Right.
this Durand Cup, Calcutta League, and this tournament in Bangladesh, Sheikh Jamal tournament, were very important because we played 20 official games. No, I remember that we played
Hmm.
11 games in Calcutta League, 5 games in Durand Cup, plus the
Durant. Yeah.
four games that we play in Sheikh Jamal tournament. By the
Yeah.
way,
In
very strong
Bangladesh.
tournament, no, because we play against
Uh-huh.
very good team from Malaysia in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
semifinals. No, so we played 20 official
Mhm.
games, and that was very important to the development of the league. No, and as you said at the beginning of the league, we draw 0-0, goalless draw in Aizawl, and against
Mhm.
Churchill Brothers at home, we lost
Yeah.
because we were very weak in defense. Very weak. I
Right.
remember that we conceded very silly goals with individual mistakes. But I
Hmm.
remember that we create like 25, 27 shots. No, so
Yeah.
the offensive game was good, but the defensive game was poor. And when we adjust this, I think the performance of the team improved clearly.
Yeah, and in that Churchill game, we got a prodigy like Shubha Ghosh. He impressed all of us, and all of us in the stands were saying like, why KIBU doesn't start Shubha Ghosh ahead of Salva Chamorro. Later, we knew
Mm-hmm.
you had a player like Papa Babakar Diwara who was coming in the ranks, who was about to join the ranks. So, over to you,
Mm.
Rishabh, about the next question.
Yes.
See,
So, Kibu. Yeah. Kibu.
the,
Yeah,
no, I want to say Salva Chamorro was a very good player, but sometimes we have to understand
Yes.
that to go to other places and to adapt to the place, to the culture, to
Hmm.
the food, to
Hmm.
everything, it's not easy. It's not easy, no, and to the weather, it's not easy. And he had these problems, but the quality was there, no. And see, on the other hand, with Subogos, there are players that they have the roles of game changer.
Right.
No, that to play the last 30 minutes, 15 minutes. No, but these players, the same player starting in the first 11, perhaps they are not they don't have the same performance.
Yeah,
Right.
understandable.
So you
And
undoubtedly answered half of the question that I was about to ask in the next question. So, as you said, the culture, the playing style of Salva did not match, and Colinas was injured in the midway, and we had to bring in new reinforcements. So, then two specific players, I'd say, who joined, and that was very pivotal for the I League win. One was Papa, and the other was Comron. So, how do you feel like these two particular changes, and overall the six foreigners that we had in our I
Hmm.
League team roster, was influential in winning that I League undefeated after the first two
No,
matches?
undoubtedly they were the foreigners were key, not only because they were all of them very good players, also because they were very good persons. And
Yes,
the bonding between the Indian players and the foreigners was outstanding, was very good. And I remember
absolutely.
that, as you said, Baba Diawara was a luxury for us because a player that was playing in Primera División, in Sevilla, Getafe, Levante.
Yeah.
Curiously, I remember when I was in Legia Warsaw, I traveled to Portugal to watch
Okay.
Marítimo Funchal, a team of Liga Sagres. This is the first division in Portugal. And I remember a game,
Hmm.
they play against Porto, Porto FC, the best team in Portugal. And Baba
Hmm.
Diabara was playing as a striker. That time he was like 22, 23. And we wanted to sign him to Leia Warsaw, but we couldn't
wow,
because it
Okay.
was very expensive. And 2 years later, he signed in Sevilla. Sevilla was one of the best teams in Europe. That time they
The
were
elite
winning
clubs of
some,
Spain.
yeah,
Yeah.
very
they
big
were
clubs,
winning
no?
back-to-back Europa leagues back then, I believe.
Yeah. And the importance of Baba was that he was a very good player, very humble, because you see, not only he
Hmm.
was playing with the ball, he was running, he was pressing. He never lose any single training session. I remember one time that he had some
Hmm.
problems in the knee, but he told me, "Not coach, I'm going to train. Yeah, if I want to play the game in the weekend, I have to train during the week." No, so the professionality of Baba Diawara was very high. Also, Conrad Tushunov was very important because he gave us the
Hmm.
possibility to play in different positions. Number 10,
Right.
weakest in both sides, even a second striker, and was very, very
A very versatile player.
versatile, we can say, no? Yeah, 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 exactly. And in the central defenders, they was a good pair, no? Fran Morante and Daniel Cyrus, because Daniel was more overwhelming, more winning the challenge, more stronger than Fran Morante,
Yeah.
and Fran Morante was also good in the air and also giving good good playing from behind, no, from the defensive line. He
Yes.
was
His passing
bonding
abilities
good
were
with the
good.
midfield, no, with Fran Gonzalez and Joseba Beitia, no. Fran Gonzalez
Right.
was the
Absolutely.
uh, for a coach is a very big advantage to have one player that can be the coach in the field. And he was like the coach in the field. Every
Yes.
time he was asking me what we have to do, and I was telling him, and he from inside he was organizing the team, no. And Joseba Beitia
Yes.
was a fantastic playmaker. Is a fantastic playmaker
Mhm.
still, no. He's a fantastic playmaker, and in my opinion, the best player in the league that time.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
he's one of the
Absolutely.
very best playmakers to ever play for Mohun Bagan. We are blessed to see Joseba in the field. But my next question will be that season we didn't fought just against the opponent players. The pandemic came around February or March. All of us knew that something called COVID-19 is coming. There is something called lockdown is going to happen. And around that time too, Mohun Bagan was playing games in a packed gallery. And what was your thoughts? What was the team's thoughts behind the thoughts those time when the news were just coming in? Like few countries were starting to impose lockdown around February. In March,
Hmm.
after we just played ISL, I think the lockdown was announced in India. But before that, definitely multiple rumors were circulating in internet, like COVID has
Hmm.
reached India, COVID has reached Asia. So, what was the team's thought behind it? That time, two team played like true professionals, and we delivered on the field.
See, to be honest with you, no one in Mohun Bagan was expecting that it happened what happened with the COVID. No, we were only focused in the next game, and we were lucky that we won this game against Aisol because was nobody knew that was our last game. No, because I remember that
Mm.
next game we have the derby in Salt Lake against East Bengal, and we were
Yes.
preparing after Aisol. I remember that we celebrate one day and one day off, and next day we started preparing the derby against East Bengal. I think we trained 2 3 days, and then everything was stopped. No,
Mhm.
so very happy. I think that all Mohun all Mariners, all Mohun supporters, and all the people that we were inside in Kalyani Stadium that night against Aisol, we will always remember, no, because it was
Yeah,
very special, because it was a moment that see now Mohun is winning every single trophy more or less that is playing, but that time it was not like that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
Mm.
when
Absolutely.
we started the season, we were not the favorites. Of
No.
course, Mohun always is favorite, but I remember that most of the analysts they were saying that
Yeah.
East Bengal they have better team, etc. No,
Yeah,
so
yeah, definitely.
Chennai City was the former champion, and also they have a good team, but
Yes.
that season was special. I think not only because we won. I think also because the way we play. I think we play a good game. All this all the supporters they were proud the way we were playing, winning the games, and also because I think that that group was special. We were
Absolutely.
we were a family, and this family, we can show in the field that the way we were and the way we want to play.
Absolutely. And the
And definitely
way
still
you
very
wanted to play.
special to us. But
Excuse me.
yeah, Rishabh, please continue.
Yes. As I just take your last line, which you said, the way you wanted to play, and I have a very special question on the playing style that you imbibed in Mohun Bagan, which a lot of coaches, the Spanish coaches today, are taking forward. So, if you remember, Kivu, there was a goal against Churchill we scored. There was a 23 pass goal at a stretch, and that went to the FIFA. FIFA recognized it as a greatest, one of the greatest goals. And that is a record that was not achieved in Indian football before. So I'd like to say that like this particular goal, did this truly reflect the Spanish vision of tiki taka that you wanted to imbibe in Mohun Bagan, or have imbibed in the teams that you have coached? Like, is
I
this
think
that
was
pinnacle moment for you?
Yeah, I think that was not for me, for the team. No, I think was the effect of all these months that we were working with this style, these games that we play in Calcutta League, in Durand Cup, in Sheikh
Mm.
Kamal tournament. No, this all the trainings, all the games, and also was like a you can say a sporting revenge, no? Because it was against Churchill brothers
Hmm. Yes.
in their stadium in Fatorda, and was like I think after these days everyone we realized that we were the favorites to win the league because we
Yes.
were winning against a tough opponent. We won 3-0. That was the third goal of this goal of Konrad Tursunov. But we have more
Yes.
chances even to score, and we saw everyone that not only we were getting good results, that we were getting good results
Hmm.
playing good football.
Against good teams and
Yeah.
good football. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Personally, Kibu, I'd
You are
say
class apart.
that yeah, I absolutely agree. I'd say, like, for me, the turning moment of that season where I felt that yes, we can go on to win the league was the match against Real Kashmir in Srinagar. It was freezing temperatures there, and they battled out 70 minutes at a nil-nil draw, and then Betia and Pobran scored. So that for me, that away victory, I believe that we were going to do it.
Mm. Was a key game because everybody knows that winning Kashmir in Srinagar is very difficult. No artificial turf,
Yes.
small field. They have a particular style. They are very direct football with a lot of, for example, even now, no African players very strong physically. It's very difficult to play against them. I remember that
Yes.
we were play a good game. We were defending very well. We were preparing the game. This particular game we were preparing very. I think we were very sharp, and
Mhm.
we won. I remember in one goal in a throw in from. Darachandra that scored Joseba Beitia, and then
Yes.
the
Yeah.
second goal, Nondamba Naorem, no, in a one good
Yeah.
action
Number, right.
with Sahil pass through to Brito that was playing the second half.
Yes.
Cut back and Nondamba scored the second goal. And yes, this game was particularly important because
Mm.
we saw ourselves that we could play the same style in away matches because it's not the same. You know that
Yes.
there
Anywhere
are
in the country.
yeah there are some teams that they are playing good at home, but they have more difficulties away. And our team was good in home and away matches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So before moving
Absolutely.
to the next question, we would like to congratulate you on winning the promotion again with Diamond Harbour FC, and that's an
Thank you.
historical thing happened in Indian football. Back-to-back promotion, that too for a newly created club. So that's huge in Indian football. So our following question is about that only. We have seen you dominate in this glorious green and maroon color, but there is a completely different story in Diamond Harbour. It's a newly formed club, guiding them to the I League promotion after winning back-to-back promotion. So, if you can compare between the challenges you had faced in Mohun Bagan and Diamond Harbour, definitely Diamond Harbour job is more difficult in our opinion. But if you can give your thoughts on that, what was the challenges you faced in Diamond Harbour? You knew few things when you coached in Mohun Bagan, and you are now a very seasoned coach in India, so you know how the football market works here. But how challenging it was to gain back-to-back promotion with a newly promoted club,
See,
newly created
was
club that.
it has been very challenging because we're starting from zero. We're starting
Yes.
making trials to get players and convince some players to come. I remember when I arrived, already the team was done, no. And that season was very difficult because it was in the first division Calcutta League. We promote, and slowly we were growing up. We are growing up. We are creating a very good environment, and I think this season was very fruitful. No, we played 40 official games, and we only lost one against Sport
Mm.
Odisha in League Three, even in Calcutta League. That by the way didn't finish yet because
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
we are in the
Right.
super.
We
We
wish
are
Diamond
still.
Harbour wins that.
Yes, we are still in the Super League, and also we play. Sorry, in the Super Six.
Yeah.
Yes.
We already played 15 games, 15 games, and 12 wins and 3 draws. No, and
Mhm.
if we win against East Bengal, we are winning the Calcutta League. No, and also
Right.
Fingers
our
crossed.
main objective of the season was to promote to I League One. No,
Mhm.
see, every competition is very difficult because at the beginning
Right.
you don't know most of the opponents. No, you know yourself, and
Mhm.
we were creating, I think, a very competitive team, very good team with players with experience in ISL, even in I League also, and also good players of West Bengal players, no, of Calcutta players. No, in
Yes.
fact. we were the team with more representatives in the Santos Trophy winning team of last season
Correct.
with Sayensen, no, because we have 6 players, no more than any other team in
Bengal.
Calcutta football in Bengal, no.
Yes.
So it was very challenging. See, we divided the promotion in 3 stages. First stage was the first stage of I League 3. We had to qualify in the best two, and we qualified in first position. Second stage, also 2 teams were promoting to I League 2, and we not only promote as first in the group, also we won the championship, the final against San Mari, 1-0 with a
Yes.
one goal of Ragab Munta. And in the I League 2, we were that it was going to be very difficult because we knew that there were 2-3 teams that they were betting in sporting terms, of course, very very strong to promote, no, Sporting Club de Goa with Armando Colazzo as coach, Bengaluru United, United
Yes.
FC, also Chamari. We knew that they were going
Tough
to bring
opponents.
players from ISL, so it was also very very demanding. I think we especially the first part of the season we were very good, and second part of the season was more demanding because we were playing most of the games away, no, and also we finished as champions in first position, unbeaten. True that the last 2-3 games of the season were not we didn't play well, but it's a league of 16 games, and
Mhm.
we promote and we finish as champions, so
Huge feat.
everyone we are happy. Yes.
Exactly. And huge
Absolutely.
congratulations, by the
Absolutely.
way. And we are waiting to see you give the coveted I League trophy once again. All of us will be chanting for you.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Yeah, I can
boys.
assure you, Kibu, the Mariners will root for you behind you in your I League conquest up in the upcoming seasons.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know that yes, I know that I'm going to be supported by the good people. I know.
Absolutely. So, my next question would be take a bit away from club football. So, we have in India, we have seen a lot of foreign coaches who have arrived in club football or as a national team coach take up swapping roles. Let's say for Stephen Constantine in the past, he was the Indian coach and then he coached East Bengal. And Manolo Marquez, for an example, is doing FC Goa as well as is managing the Indian national team. So, Kibu, is there a distant dream, maybe not now, maybe a few years down the line, where you one day see yourself as a national team of a coach of the national team of India?
Well, of course, I would like to someday, be the national coach of India. Right now, India has a fantastic coach. One of the best coaches in the last years in India is Manolo Marquez. That also
Mhm.
is a fantastic coach. Now this season recently they won the Super Cup, and he won also with
Yes.
Hyderabad. Now he's doing a fantastic job in FC Goa. For me, it's the best possibility that Indian football has right now to have Manolo Marquez as a head coach, because also he's a fantastic coach, and also he's a very good person. So I think
Indeed.
his main objective is to get the best results with India, and also promote good Indian players to strong leagues. No, but of course,
Yep.
no. For me, one of the purpose that I have right now is with the HFC is try to get the best results possible. No, now we have to this next season we have to prepare Calcutta League, we have to prepare
Yes.
Duran Cup, Federation Cup, I League, and hopefully Super Cup, but also the Development League. No, but one of my purposes is try to help Indian football to be better, no, trying to promote good players that can play in better level, and why not in Indian national teams.
So I have a personal question to you. You must have seen the current Mohun Bagan team, and you have seen the youngsters at Mohun Bagan like Dipendu Biswas, Raj Bashpur, Salauddin Adnan, who stormed into the frame in the Super Cup. Whom would you love to coach the most amongst the current batch of Mariners? Any specific player in your mind who would you like to coach?
Of these young players, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Of these young players or of any of
Of
these
Yes.
these
current
players, yes.
Indian football,
I
anyone,
I
any one of
I
them.
I like very much. I like very much Suhail Bat. I think
Okay.
he's a striker that he needs only to play. He needs minutes. He needs minutes in. See, for an Indian young striker, it's very difficult to play in India because most of
Yes.
the I League and ISL teams, they have not only
Foreign
one striker,
strikers.
they have two, even three. See, for
Mm.
example, in Mohun Bagan, no, Camis Petratos McLaren. So to Suhail Bat is very difficult to play. But I saw him, for example, in Calcutta League, now in Super Cup, and I think he's a special striker. I think this player. See, there is one point that if they cannot play in Mohun Bagan, imagine that because now it's difficult, they should go to other place to play and then come back to play in Mohun
Yeah.
Bagan.
Mm.
Because
Yes.
these young players to be in the bench and play only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they are not going to improve as they can. And these players needs to play regularly to get the 100% possibilities of their capabilities.
Right. To
Yeah, yeah.
develop themselves to their best shape.
Yeah, even we were very vocal
Absolutely.
during the Super Cup that for Shuel's own development, he should go on a loan for at least a season in I League. And I don't know if it is the right platform to say it, but if you can loan him in and you can nurture him for 1 year, all the Mariners will be very glad and you will be grateful.
This was not my intention when I talk about Suhail Bat, but of course, the player for me is a very good player. Of course, no, Rats Basford also is doing very well. Dipendu Bas was playing crucial games this season, last season with Mohun Bagan. Amandip as left back also is a good player. Tyson, the winger, is a good player. Suhail Bat, no, Tauban, the left winger of the development league team. Certo, the
Yeah.
striker. They have Umer, the central back. They have a very good group of players. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
So, as we are coming to the very end of this session, I will ask my final question to you. So, Kibu, you have a special bond with the Mohun Bagan fans. I remember after the I League was over, you went to Spain. You gave an interview to a Bengali news daily where you quoted, "I will be a Mohun Bagan fan for the rest of my life." You said something like that. So now Mohun Bagan is the greatest team of the country. Nobody can question that. So, do you have any special message for the Mohun Bagan faithfuls, for the Mariners?
See, I think in the same that 5 years ago, no, the message is that they have to enjoy this moment of Mohun Bagan, that is a historical moment because almost they are winning every tournament that they are playing. Enjoying the field, enjoy also with the development league team that they had a big success with last season winning the development league. And enjoying every single game because in football, never you are going to win every game, never you are going to win every tournament, no. So the moments that you are
Yes.
winning, you have to enjoy, because it's like football is like life. There are good moments, bad moments. Now when you have
Right.
a good moment, you have to celebrate. So this is the moment to celebrate that Mohun Bagan is the best team in the country, and trying to continue with this, to be in the good way, no. And also, the message is to continue helping the team in the good and especially in the bad moments.
So
Absolutely.
just a final thought
Absolutely.
before going to Rishabda. Now we are seeing the Mohun Bagan fans are storming into the gallery. We are having an attendance of 35,000, 36,000. That actually started with that season when you played the champagne football. In Kullen, we used to see around 4 p.m. afternoon kickoff. In a Wednesday or Thursday, the gallery is jam-packed. So that started from there, and now the fan base is there, and hopefully, we'll strive for more glory, strive for more success. And as a fan, once I had a chance to meet you in person, I and Dorindam met you, and that day I told you something that one day, I want to see you make a comeback, make a grand comeback to Mohun Bagan, and that's still the wish in my head. And I believe all of the Mariners who is going to watch this show, they will have the same thought that one day we'll want our Kibuda back at Mohun Bagan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. See, in football, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Now, of course, I'm very happy in the HFC. We have a beautiful project, very demanding and very
Yes.
challenging, but beautiful at the same time. This is our main objective right now. But of course, my feeling with Mumbagan is there is going to be always is going to be very high. And let's see. Now you have a very good coach, very good coaching staff. The results are excellent. Life is long, and let's see what is happening.
Absolutely. With your two quotes, football is life and life is long, I would like to end this session with this beautiful person, which for whom, in the last 40 minutes, I knew him as the coach of Mohun Bagan, but now I can proudly say I know Mr. KIBU VICUNA as a very, very great person and a very good friend of mine. Thank you, Kibu Vikuna, for giving us the time and having the barrage of questions that we asked. We will keep in touch, and we will hope to host you more in the future. And
Thank
last but
you.
not the least, congratulations to DHFC and wishing you all the best for the new upcoming season. May you conquer all the trophies that you play.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate, and whenever you want to talk again, we will talk again.
Definitely. Thank you,
Definitely,
Kibu, for
sir.
Thank you. A
time
pleasure.
from
A
your
pleasure to be with you, and keep in touch. And all the best to
Surely, sir.
Mohun as always.
Thank you, Kibu. Thank you, and
Thank
all
you,
the
sir.
best.
Thank
All the
you. Have a
best to
nice
you,
day.
sir. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Have a nice
আমরা কারা ভারত সেনা